Have you ever wondered about the majestic castles that claim most of the land in France? Our journey begins in the 9th and 10th centuries, where the dawn of French castles emerged. During this time, the very concept of a castle was born out of necessity. These were not the romantic fairy tale fortresses we imagine today, but rather a practical response to a chaotic and dangerous world. Constructed from wood and earth, these early fortifications were designed to offer protection. The castle was a stronghold, a refuge, a place where a community could retreat when under attack. It was a statement of power and a symbol of authority. The people who lived within these fortifications were not just kings and nobles, but a whole community of individuals. These castles were bustling with life, filled with the sounds of blacksmiths, bakers, and weavers, all contributing to the castle's self-sufficient ecosystem. One castle of particular note from this era is the Château de Chambered. Nestled in Brittany, this castle was originally a wooden fortification built on a rock in the marshes. Over the centuries, it was repeatedly expanded and fortified, ultimately becoming one of the most impressive fortresses in Europe. However, these early castles did not last. Wood and earth were no match for the ravages of time and warfare. But from their ashes rose the stone castles that have become the iconic symbols of France's regal past. These early fortifications marked the beginning of an architectural revolution. They set the stage for the evolution of castle design, from rudimentary wooden forts to the grand stone structures we admire today. The lessons learned from these early castles, their strengths and their weaknesses, were carried forward into the future, shaping the castles that would come to dominate the French landscape. These early castles formed the bedrock of what would become a grand tradition of castle building in France. From these humble beginnings, an architectural legacy was born, one that continues to captivate and inspire us to this day. As we move into the Middle Ages, French castles took on a new level of grandeur. These centuries, from the 12th to the 15th, marked a remarkable period of architectural innovation and societal change, forever shaping the landscape of France. The Middle Ages was a time when castles evolved from rudimentary fortresses into grand residences of the nobility. No longer just strategic defense points, they became symbols of power, status, and wealth. During this era, the castle was both a stronghold and a home, a place of warfare and a center of courtly life. Take, for instance, the Château de Chambered. This architectural masterpiece was conceived as a hunting lodge for King Francis I, but quickly evolved into a symbol of his power and the magnificence of the French Renaissance. Its unique design, featuring a central keep with 4 immense bastion towers at the corners, was revolutionary for its time. In the same vein, the Château de Versailles began as a small hunting lodge, before Louis XIV transformed it into a sprawling palace. Versailles was the epicenter of absolute monarchy and court society in the 17th century. It was more than a home. It was a stage where the drama of court life played out, a place where the king showcased his absolute power. These castles weren't just fortresses, they were bustling hubs of society. Within their thick stone walls, nobles hosted grand feasts, conducted diplomatic negotiations, and showcased their wealth through art and decoration. The castle was a reflection of its owner's social standing. In the face of warfare, these castles stood as formidable obstacles to invaders. With their high walls, moats, and fortified towers, they were designed to withstand long sieges and repel enemy attacks. The castle was the stage where strategies were planned, battles were won, and history was written. These castles were not just homes, but symbols of power and prestige. They stood as testament to the might of their owners, the grandeur of their era, and the enduring elegance of French architecture. The French Revolution brought a new era for the country's castles. The 18th century and beyond witnessed a significant shift in the purpose and design of these majestic structures. No longer the homes of kings and queens, the castles began to serve a myriad of new roles. The French Revolution, a period of radical political and societal change, played a substantial role in this transformation. With the monarchy overthrown, many castles were seized by the state. Some were demolished, others repurposed. Many became museums, their grand halls and opulent chambers now open for the public to marvel at. Some were converted into administrative buildings, serving the people in ways they never had before. One such castle-turned-government building is the Palais de l'Élysée. Located in the heart of Paris, this grand palace dates back to the early 18th century. It has seen a multitude of uses over the years, from a private residence to an office for the French president. In its time, it has been a symbol of power, a testament to architectural prowess, and a beacon of French heritage. Despite these radical changes, the essence of these castles remained untouched. Their architecture, a blend of medieval might and Renaissance elegance, evolved yet persisted. The ornate details, the towering spires, the expansive gardens, all retained their charm, their allure, and their capacity to make one feel like they've stepped back in time. Indeed, the modern era has breathed new life into these ancient structures. They've embraced the change, adapted to the times, yet held on to their roots. They've become more than just stone and mortar. They represent the resilience of French culture, the undying spirit of its people, and the timeless beauty of its heritage. While their roles have changed, the majesty of French castles endures. They stand proud and tall, a testament to a rich and vibrant past, a beacon guiding us into the future. They are the heart of France, beating steadily, echoing the stories of centuries past, and whispering the promise of many more to come. From the humble beginnings in the 9th century to the grand palaces of today, French castles have a rich and varied history. As we've journeyed through the ages together, we've seen how these magnificent structures evolved from simple fortifications into the opulent residences of kings and queens. Each castle, with its own unique architecture and design, tells a story of the time it was built, the people who lived within its walls, and the events that shaped its destiny. From the imposing stone fortresses of the Middle Ages to the elegant chateaux of the Renaissance and beyond, these castles bear witness to the changing tastes, technologies, and socio-political climates of their times. Even today, they continue to captivate us with their timeless beauty and grandeur, serving as a reminder of France's rich cultural heritage. So next time you see a French castle, remember it's not just a building, but a testament to the country's fascinating history.